Welcome, everybody. Today, I am joined by Mississauga realtor Lawrence Mak to talk about the freshly released Toronto Real Estate Board numbers for the month of August. It was a hot month, steamy month. Lawrence, hopefully you got some vacation, but I think you were busy in between. Talk to us about what you saw in August in Toronto real estate.
Thanks a lot, Chris. Well, let me just share out my screen. Give me a second.
All right, graphs. We go straight into the graphs.
Straight
Awesome.
into the graphs. All right, so this is the statistics for last month in August. Average price point was about 1.07 million, which is up 13% from last year. So this is on average over between condos, detached, semi-detached, and everything. So
hold on. Let's pause there, because I think that this is significant. Here you have in this graph 4 years, 5 years of price action or historical price data. And you can see each successive year from 2017, 2018, 2019, 2020. And then you have this massive jump to 2021. I mean, that's pretty remarkable in the last 5 years.
There's a lot of pent-up demand for real estate right now and probably in the future. Crazy.
And so what's driving this price action? That's significant. I imagine it's supply and demand.
It's just basically supply and demand. The average price went up 13%, and it's considered a little bit of a lull, in my opinion, right before the storm. I really do feel September and October are going to be very, very strong. The number of sales have dropped from last year. Actually, it's only about 8,600 sales in August versus about 11,000 in the previous year. And I think a lot of that has to do with COVID. It's just that now that the weather is nicer and the lockdown restrictions have been eased quite a bit, everybody is just going out to enjoy the summer. So no one's really thinking about real estate.
Right. So what you're saying is sales were down in August because listings were down. It's not that people didn't want to buy, it's that people didn't want to sell. People weren't interested in selling.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the average price still went up, but just the volume in terms of the number of transactions was down. And so it's anticipated pretty much after next week, once all the kids go back to school and everyone's head starts getting a little clearer and you're not really enjoying the summer weather as nice, it's just going to get crazy. I mean, I'm already hearing many multiples, 20, 30 type of offers further in the outskirts. And I think it's just going to come back.
Brutal. Okay. So we're going back to that territory after a little bit of a lull, a little bit of a breather.
Yeah, I think so. And so this is all different housing, such as condos, detached, semi-detached. So again, this is the number of sales, about 11,000 last year, about 8,600. So the number of houses dropped 20% in terms of the number of sales, and even the number of active listings.
That's significant. That's significant.
Down. So
40%, 43% down year over year.
People just aren't selling houses right now. And then, I've got 3 listings coming online this month, and I pretty much told everybody to wait in August. Like, they're thinking about selling in August, and I'm like, just wait a few weeks, then we sell in September, and everyone said okay. So I think a lot of other realtors and sellers are doing that as well, and so you'll see a lot more transactions in September. In terms of just detached homes in Toronto, for instance, averages about 1.7 million, up about 11%. I know, quite a bit.
Wow.
Mississauga down a bit from last month, but still, I mean, all of these are still up significantly from the previous year. This is about 1.5 million in Mississauga for detached home, up 13-14%. And Oakville, for instance, you're hitting close to 2 million, up 24%. I mean, this trajectory,
it's just taking off.
It's just taking off.
Insane.
I mean, that's just
wow. Okay, so do you have another slide? Because I want to ask a question after this.
Sure. I mean, these are the slides for the detached, and we can talk about condos later. What's your question?
Right. Yeah. Well, I mean, when you see these graphs, and I'm asking this question in the context of the coming election, it seems to me that this is not sustainable, and something needs to give eventually. So it is becoming a political issue. Right. In your professional opinion, do we have a housing crisis in the GTA?
Definitely. I mean, we have so many people coming in and just not enough supply.
So it's like, and this is during pandemic, without pre-pandemic population trends of immigration, students, and Toronto keeps on building itself up as a global hub. So we've got a problem. So, is there anything that you have heard from any of the candidates that makes any sense that can address this, or is this just a behemoth that's got a
Eh,
life of its own and there's nothing to control it? It's a runaway freight train. Look out.
Yeah, I mean, in my opinion, the party platforms in terms of the housing aren't really going to address the problems. Even stuff like blind bidding or just bringing a few more houses online or whatever. I mean, first of all, at least in Ontario, real estate is a provincial matter. So depending on how they're going to implement things like criminalizing blind bidding, I don't see how that's going to help. Like, it's not really the problem. The problem is
Mhm.
supply. Whether you're going to
Mhm.
ease up like on the red tape of bringing things in or development charges or whatever it is, so that you could just bring more houses online, that's just going to help, right? If you have twice as
Mhm.
many houses that are for sale, all of a sudden the average price is going to go down because it's just purely supply and demand economics.
Right. It's as simple as that. So there's nothing from a political side, whatever they're saying, changes to mortgage rules, changes to foreign buyer rules, or blind bidding, or the removal of blind bidding to make it a open kind of auction marketplace to buy a house. None of that's really going to address the underlying factor here, which is that we've got a growing population and not enough supply. I mean, it's as simple as that.
Yeah, I mean, simple as that. I mean, if you go back to when they introduced the foreign buyers tax in 2017, prices basically dropped about $200,000 overnight because on April 20th, 2017, they said that all the evil foreign buyers are buying up all of our real estate, and that's why we can't afford anything. But
Yeah.
that was not true. As you can see, we're just back on track again. So it temporarily just kneecapped all the homeowners by about
Yeah.
200,000. And if you're
Yeah.
talking about the detached homes in Toronto, we're talking average about $400,000 like overnight. People who had homes
Hmm.
that are worth 1.6 million, by August it was worth 1.2 million, and eventually just climbed back up. But
Yeah.
during that time, because they decided to introduce some random laws, I don't think it really helps. So I think what they really need is to have a lot more consultation with the industry leaders and organize real estate to figure out what is the best solution. Like it
Hmm.
just seems like a very knee-jerk reaction. Oh, we'll just do this. We'll just remove blind bidding. We'll just
Yeah.
bring some houses online. We'll just
Yeah.
whatever it is that they're doing. It just seems like a very simple solution for a complex problem. And I don't know
Yeah.
if they've really fleshed out the idea.
Yeah. That to me sounds like politics being very
Yeah, it
it's a
sounds like
political
it.
matter. It sounds big and grand, but it'll get people's attention because of the headline, but it won't address the root problem.
Yes, for
um,
sure.
Lawrence, that was very helpful. I really appreciate that insight in the conversation today. If anybody would like to get in touch with you to talk about Toronto real estate, I know you're based in Mississauga and Oakville. What's the best way for somebody to reach you?
Oh, you can find me online at lawrencemak.com, or my number 416-276-4895.
It's right there at the top of the slide there.
Of this slide on Toronto condos, which I'll quickly go through.
Oh yeah, tell me.
Average.
Sorry.
Oh no, sorry. Average price point in the Toronto condos was about 720. As you can see, it's been about flat for the last few months,
Yep.
but it's still above from last year.
Up
Again,
year over
this is
year.
expected to pick up. The
Yeah, and that was a big talking point as well. Is that, oh, condos were crashing, people weren't downtown. Surprise,
Yeah,
surprise, we're back, right?
I mean they were right. This is
Yeah,
COVID last year. I mean, and basically you can see that the average value in the condos crashed, and then as we
yeah.
go back to this year, it's been steadily increasing, and I'm seeing a lot more life in like the rental market downtown as well. That's gone up
Hmm.
significantly as well. So it seems like everyone has a lot more consumer confidence, and they're just moving back downtown and getting back to normal.
Yeah. Well, I live in the city, and this was the long weekend, and it was buzzing.
Yeah.
It didn't. It felt like pre-pandemic for the first time, in my opinion. With the air show going on and everything. So it was good. Listen, Lawrence, thank you again. For anybody watching, please reach out if there are any questions. If you want to list a home or find out more about maybe what your home might be worth if you want to list, or how to get into the market, Lawrence is a great guy to talk to. Always appreciate your insight. Lawrence, have a great week. We'll talk to you in a few months.
Thanks, Chris. Much appreciated. Bye bye.